Hello! You know what this is. Learn about another type of motion. We must. Watch video we will. Of monkey. Interesting this is. Punching pull toy. So, what happens? Rotary motion here it is. The input is spinning. The output, the boxing gloves. The boxing gloves back and forth. They go. The input spinning. The output back and forth. Reciprocating motion this is. Our definition we must get. Make your word web you must. With reciprocating motion in the center. Upper left pictures, upper right examples. Underneath definition, underneath that sentence. Definition of reciprocating, here it is. A reciprocating motion is repetitive up and down or back and forth motion. For our mechanical systems, when the input energy is put in one direction, so for example, if you are spinning the input, the output will reciprocate. The output will repeatedly go up and down or back and forth. As the input spins one direction, the output goes two directions. For example, up and down. Examples of reciprocating motion, here are some. With the popcorn pusher, the wheel spins one direction, and then the popper goes up and down. Many mechanical pull toys have reciprocating motion. For this one, crank the crank. Then these spin, and that pushes the flowers up and down repeatedly. The sewing machine needle. The needle goes up and down. The electric motor inside spins one direction, and that causes the needle to go up and down. The scroll saws used in class are similar. The blade goes up and down repeatedly. Inside of a car engine, many reciprocating parts. Mr. Gooproad's favorite example, the piston. The piston goes up and down. The crankshaft spins one direction, but the piston goes up and down repeatedly. Also in an engine, the camshaft spins, which pushes the pushrod, which opens and closes the valves repeatedly. Let's check a video. Here's an engine which has multiple reciprocating parts. If we look here, multiple pistons going up and down, while the crankshaft spins one direction. Top view of the engine, we can see the camshaft. The camshaft spins one direction. That pushes the pushrod, which then opens the valve repeatedly. On the front view, we can see the crankshaft spinning one direction, the pistons going up and down. They are using the force. Another view of the camshaft. It is spinning counterclockwise, so it's spinning one direction, and pushing the pushrods up and down repeatedly. Here are some examples of things that do not have reciprocating motion. If you think of a C-clamp, if you rotate this one direction, how many directions does this go? If you think of an adjustable wrench, if you spin the worm gear one direction, let's say you rotate it counterclockwise, what does this do? What does this end do? Does it go back and forth? Or does it go one direction? Or does it spin? For both of these tools, if you spin the input, the output only goes one direction. Reciprocating means if we spun this one direction, this would go back and forth repeatedly, but it does not. We spin it one direction, it only goes one direction. These skateboard wheels, those only spin. That's rotary motion. They spin in a circle. Now use the force. Determine which of these objects have reciprocating inputs and outputs. Use the force.